Welcome back. Welcome back. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Well, welcome back.
Comment and subscribe. Like, comment, and subscribe. Like, comment, and subscribe.
Shadowy realms of wrestling lore. A tale with shifting narratives has emerged over time, recounted by different voices of the professional wrestling world. This eerie urban legend revolves around the iconic Von Erich brothers and an incident that will leave you shocked and disturbed. Although the specific Von Erich brother involved in the setting seemed to shift, along with some intricacies altering in each retelling, the core narrative remains consistent. Whether it was Kevin or Kerry Von Erich, the story begins backstage at the Dallas, Texas Sportatorium.
With the A24 movie The Iron Claw releasing this December, I figured there are probably a lot of people who are interested in the movie but don't really know anything about wrestling and don't know the extremely sad story that this movie is based on. So if you're curious about the movie but would like some context, here's a very condensed summary of the story of the Von Erich family. Trigger warnings for child abuse, drug abuse, and suicide. This is rough. Fritz Von Erich was a wrestler born in 1929, and he's really a candidate for worst father of all time. His real name was Jack Adkisson. If I was to go into why his bad guy character was given a very German name, this would be an even longer video. So I'm just telling you that because I'm going to be calling him Fritz. He had 6 sons, and the ones who wrestled also went by the name Von Erich in the ring. His sons from firstborn to lastborn: Jack Jr., Kevin, David, Kerry, Mike, Chris. Jack Jr. was the firstborn, but he passed away at the age of 6 from an accidental electrocution. The 4 brothers who really became known for wrestling were Kevin, who's being played by Zac Efron; David, who is being played by Harris Dickinson; Kerry, who is being played by Jeremy Allen White; and Mike, who is being played by Stanley Simons. They all wrestled in World Class Championship Wrestling, where their father worked and had a lot of power, and he worked his sons to the bone. The Von Erich boys had to wrestle when injured. They were drained by their father. He basically used them as pawns. In 1984, when David was wrestling in Tokyo, he was found passed away in his hotel room from what was reported to be an intestinal issue, but the wrestlers he was working with at the time believed that it was actually a drug overdose. He was 26. In 1985, Mike was sent to wrestle in Israel shortly after his wedding, but he suffered an injury to his shoulder, which gave him toxic shock syndrome. He did recover, but he had to retire as he just did not have the strength to continue wrestling. And in 1987, Mike Von Erich took a fatal dose of tranquilizers. He was 23. After Mike retired, he was actually replaced by a fake Von Erich cousin who was Lance Von Erich. I mentioned this because, one, it's morbidly funny that Fritz was running out of sons to make wrestle, so he had to make there be a fake Von Erich. 2, it's actually cool because Lance Von Erich is being played by the current AEW world champion MJF. That's interesting to me. After Mike passed away, the youngest Von Erich, Chris, started wrestling. He probably shouldn't have. He suffered from asthma, he had very brittle bones, but like I said, Fritz was running low on sons. His physical limitations really kept him from being a success as a wrestler. He was haunted by the passing of his 2 brothers. In 1991, he shot himself in the head. He was 21. For some reason, there's no one on IMDb listed as playing Chris, which is a bit odd to me. I hope they haven't cut him. That feels like it would be a very strange choice. Kerry was actually the most famous of the Von Erich sons, even going on to wrestle in the WWF under the name the Texas Tornado. In 1986, he had a motorcycle accident that really injured his foot. Fritz made him keep wrestling right after the surgery. That just hurt his foot more. It had to be amputated. He kept on wrestling with a prosthetic, but he became very addicted to narcotics. The wrestler Bret Hart has said that in 1990 he was on the road with Kerry driving, and Kerry told him that his late brothers were calling to him to join them in heaven, and that he was just waiting for God to tell him when. In 1993, Carey shot himself through the heart on the family ranch. He was 33. By the time Fritz passed away of cancer in 1997, the only Von Erich son still alive was Kevin. There's a lot more to this story, and if you want to learn about it, I suggest the episode of the documentary series Dark Side of the Ring. It's an episode called The Last of the Von Erichs. It is on Hulu. I just don't want people getting the wrong impression from like how goofy the haircuts are. This movie is gonna be very sad.
You've probably seen this first look from the upcoming A24 film, The Iron Claw. The movie stars Zac Efron, Jeremy Allen White, Harris Dickerson, and Lily James. And it tells the story of the Von Erich family of professional wrestlers, both their contributions to the sport and the family curse that befell them. And if you're like me and got curious and looked up the family story, be warned, it is grim how a number of these brothers passed away under very tragic circumstances. But it sounds like some incredibly compelling subject matter. And it's coming from Canadian director Sean Durkin, perhaps best known for Martha, Marcy May, Marlene, one of Elizabeth Olsen's first breakout roles. And I'm very interested to see Zac Efron continue to take on these out-of-the-box characters. I love it when he kind of challenges the limitations of his Hollywood persona. He's an incredibly dexterous and charismatic comedic performer, but I also think there's a lot of untapped dramatic potential as well. Let's see what we have here.
Ever since I was a child, people said my family was cursed. Mom tried to protect us with God. Pop tried to protect us with wrestling. He said if we were the toughest, the strongest, nothing had ever hurt us. I believed him. We all did.
Morning.
Pants tomorrow, please, David.
Carey, I want you to join your brothers in the ring.
Yes, sir. I love that.
Now, we all know Carey's my favorite, then Kev, then David, then Mike. But the rankings can always change.
What do you want in life, Kevin Von Erich?
More ribs?
I want to be with my family. You know, be with my brothers.
What do you like to do with your brothers?
Together, we can do anything.
We're here to restore justice to the Wrestling Federation that our father built with his own two hands. The hands that were passed down to us. The hands that will deliver the Iron Claw to you.
So what do you think? Like, we're alive.
I love your family, Kevin.
You gonna be an uncle? Yes, sir.
Oh, man, that makes me so happy.
I talk to you about something, Mom. Dad's too tough on us. You gotta say something.
Baby, that's what your brothers are for.
Feel that? You feel that? That's pressure.
You're pushing too hard.
I'm fine, Kev. Seriously, I'm just sick.
I'm scared, man. It all out of control.
Terrible accident.
I should have stopped him. I need to think about my family.
Your job is to wrestle. Live up to that deal, or we are through.
I told you to look out for him!
I just love being out there with you guys. It's the only thing that matters to me.
The Von Erichs will forever be the greatest family in the history of wrestling.
Twitter remains undefeated. So this is Zac Efron. He is portraying Kevin Von Erich in an upcoming movie. The film is called The Iron Claw, and Kevin Von Erich, the famous former wrestler himself, approves of Zac's look for the film. Kevin Von Erich's family members even posted to their Instagram saying, excited about this new project on our family, and it really looks like Zac Efron is taking this role seriously. Very pumped to watch The Iron Claw. But like I said, Twitter is undefeated. This person says, Zac Efron or Lord Farquaad? I'm screaming, why does Zac Efron look like this right now? This fan says, I know Zac Efron is supposed to play Kevin Von Erich, but he looks like a little lad who likes berries and cream. This person thinks Zac looks like a swole Lord Farquaad. Lord Farquaad's lost brother. But like I said, Twitter is undefeated.
Pretty.
Bye, Felicia.
Be the best you can be. Love your family, love your friends. Spread love, not violence. not this virus. As always, peace.